Tonight, Broken Hill GPs and teachers slam the move to shift regional Pfizer vaccines to Sydney students. And regional airports receive funding for major upgrades.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. Outrage has continued to grow over Pfizer doses being taken from Broken Hill and given to Sydney school students. A local GP says the bush is being left behind, while regional areas are more now reliant on AstraZeneca.
It was the decision that divided the state.
The mixing of the messages seems to be getting more and more complicated. Are we second-class citizens?
First doses of Pfizer suspended at the state-run vaccination clinic for at least 2 weeks as the government tries to get Year 12 students back in class.
We are only at this point because the federal government has stuffed up. We would not want to see communities like Broken Hill go without vaccinations.
It now means there's just 2 Commonwealth-supplied clinics in Broken Hill giving Pfizer, which Atagi says is the preferred vaccine for those under 60.
The young persons agree entirely. You should wait for the Pfizer vaccination to be rolled out. However, when it's few and far between, that leaves young people in a bit of a quandary.
Ramu Nachiappan has requested to stock Pfizer at his GP practice. As to when that could happen,
Now I was told that they're progressively rolling it out when stock is available.
Many, sick of waiting, choosing AstraZeneca instead. The Far West Local Health District now urging all adults to get vaccinated, but with informed consent for AstraZeneca.
It's a very safe vaccine, been well tested, but in Australia has got a reputation that it does not deserve because of the mixed messaging.
The Premier has defended the decision, saying AstraZeneca will be more broadly available across the state. That's now true at Broken Hill's vaccination clinic, where that jab is available to anyone over 18. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Crowds will now get to watch community club sporting activities across the state. From 1 minute past midnight on Thursday, an attendance cap of 1,000 people is allowed for outdoor sports only. Patrons will have to follow the 1 per 2 square metre rule and wear masks. In addition, from this afternoon, no one is allowed to transit through Sydney Airport en route to South Australia. Authorities are concerned about the growing number of cases in New South Wales. Travellers who pass through will go straight into quarantine. Port Pirie Airport is one of 6 in the Grey electorate to share in more than $1 million of federal grant funding. The member for Grey says the project aims to improve the safety and delivery of goods across the region.
A cash injection taking off. Port Pirie Regional Council receiving $300,000 to replace the airport's existing runway lighting with a new LED lighting system, under round 2 of the Australian Government's Regional Airports program.
It's just making sure that it's 24-hour, all-weather, available all the time for all of those who need to use it.
The Copper Coast will also benefit, set to receive $30,000 for a GPS approach all-weather landing and $220,000 to reseal the Maitland airstrip.
Most of the cases, these strips, apart from that one I mentioned before, are already sealed. But once you've got a sealed surface, it needs maintenance, it needs renewing from time to time. They wear out.
It's hoped the upgrades will improve the safety and delivery of goods in the region. In a statement, Infrastructure and Transport Minister Barnaby Joyce says the program supports important safety and access upgrades for regional airports. Also saying for regional communities, the airport provides an essential link to the rest of Australia.
I think this side of politics, my side of politics, the coalition, is committed to supporting local communities to keep their airstrips in top order.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Meanwhile, Quorn and Hawker aerodromes are also set to be upgraded. The funding allowing the Flinders Ranges Council to commence works, eager to be implemented for some time. Edward McCarroll reports.
The Flinders Ranges Council announcing the approval of grant funding in the Australian Government's Regional Airports program. The funding enabling the council to reseal the runway at Hawker and seal off the dirt runway at Quorn.
We obtained $520,000, which does save council a hefty amount in maintenance because it was something that we had to look at anyway in the near future.
With many other projects ongoing, the council says it is prepared to complete the new airstrip within the next 18 months. With a sealed runway, the Quorn community and surrounding areas are promised a consistently safe and all-weather accessible facility, providing better access for emergency services such as the Royal Flying Doctor.
It's a safety OH&S deal really, because what it means is that the runway is now all weather, so we can get people out. You know, obviously we could bring choppers in and that, but it's so much easier for the Flying Doctor to come in.
The runway at Hawker playing an important role as the only sealed and lit runway, providing 24 hours operation between Port Augusta and Lee Creek. Mayor Flint says the projects will also support the local tourism industry by enhancing the region's accessibility for private and charter flight operators.
Police are investigating a break-in at a Port Hughes home. Between Tuesday and Thursday last week, police say entry was gained into a house on Harry's Point Road, as well as a shed where electrical items and a vehicle were stolen. The car is a silver Mazda Ute with SA registration plates S804 CGW. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Still to come tonight, Port Pirie Regional Council releases its priorities for the next state election. And Spencer Gulf cities receive cash splashes to grow more trees. Welcome back. Port Pirie Regional Council has released its state election platform document, outlining its important issues for the city in the lead up to the state election. Mayor Leon Stevens says council is eager to work closely with the winning members.
Gearing up for the state election, Port Pirie Regional Council releasing its state election platform document today, ensuring local candidates and political parties are informed of the issues believed to be important to the city.
We want people to understand that are running for the Stewart electorate and just how important Port Pirie is to that electorate and what we need in Port Pirie for us to continue on to grow a better, bigger, stronger community.
The document outlines 9 key issues: lead abatement, water, workforce, housing, childcare facilities, community wellbeing, clinical simulation, hospital upgrades and roads.
We want these not to just be promises on a night, but promises delivered and carried forward.
At this stage, there are 3 candidates contesting for the new seat of Stewart at the March election, each saying they're committed to working with council to achieve better outcomes for the electorate.
I'll be doing the best I can. I will still have committed myself to the current boundaries of Frome. I will continue to look after those people, and everybody will do this for one reason. The reason they'll be doing this is because they want to do something for their communities and regional South Australia.
The current member for Stewart backing the issues raised by council.
I'm fully committed to the seat of Stewart as it is, and also the seat of Stewart with the new boundaries. And I can assure you that if I'm re-elected with the Marshall Liberal government, then we will make very good headway on these 9 issues.
The document can be viewed at council's website. Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
A new partnership in Whyalla is aiming to encourage and empower local businesses to reach their goals. It's hoped the services and education programs available will introduce new ideas for small to medium enterprises in the city.
Ensuring the growth and success of businesses in the Steel City. A new partnership promising local enterprises the best chance of reaching their potential.
And we're here to support local businesses, the SMEs, the hardworking SME operators right across the city of Whyalla, to help them grow their businesses, help them run a very kind of profitable business.
The partnership between Business SA, the Whyalla City Council and a local business and tourism group, with the 12-month growth program including services such as the Business Accelerator Program, support for grants and tenders and networking opportunities.
This really is a time for innovation and new ideas and a lot of collaboration, because sometimes the best ideas don't come from within your own sector.
The Mayor and the Chair of the Business and Tourism Group are pleased with the potential opportunities for local enterprises.
We're really excited to be involved, and we're really looking forward to supporting the current members, and we're looking forward to growing the membership through this initiative.
This is a very exciting opportunity for the business community of Whyalla, and we're very much looking forward, as from a City Council point of view, working with Whyalla Tourism and more importantly Business SA.
The programs will officially launch at an event on September 2 at the Mirrabina Motel. Mark Zeta, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Councils across the Spencer Gulf can now apply for funding to plant more trees in their communities. Funding of up to $200,000 is being made available, part of the third round of the Greener Neighbourhoods program. Since 2019, the program has seen more than 8,500 trees and shrubs planted. Applications close on September 10. For the first time in more than a century, bandicoots have returned to Sturt National Park. 10 of the cute critters have been relocated from South Australia by UNSW in the hopes they can repopulate their former environment. The Wild Deserts Conservation Area chosen as it's free of imported predators.
Very cute and very small, which also makes them very suitable prey size for feral cats and foxes. And so it seems like the records started to drop off as those species were reintroduced.
The bandicoots will be trained to recognise predators so future generations can be returned to the wild. Rural crime officers are investigating the theft of fencing gear from a station near Broken Hill. Police say a number of items, including this picket post driver, an air compressor, electric Honda engine and winch, were taken from a property on the Silver City Highway. The theft taking place between the 8th and 12th of July. The items were believed to be taken from a trailer while work was being completed. Anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers. Stay with us after the break. Port Augusta's RSL calls out for new veterans, and Silverton businesses struggle amid a lack of visitors to the town. Hello again. Port Augusta's RSL is calling for young veterans to reach out and engage with the club. Members say without their involvement, they cannot ensure the continued operation of the sub-branch.
Fearing younger veterans are forgetting the Port Augusta RSL. Current members addressing the long-term sustainability of their social club in a statement to the public.
No Iraqi veterans, no peacekeepers, and we're all getting old, or older, and we need some young ones to start participating.
Saying, despite the efforts of the current volunteers, they need the support of younger veterans to keep the club financially viable. The sub-branch, fearing it may have to eventually close.
The younger generation obviously have different values, different ideas, and unless they get involved, nothing's going to change. So that's just the way any club works.
Dating back to 1918, Port Augusta's RSL providing community services without charge while maintaining an extensive museum for educational purposes.
Yeah, the museum was set up a long time before I got involved with the club, and it's probably one of the better ones around the place.
That's the sad thing, if it does go. Everything that's in that room, in our memorabilia room there, goes back to whoever loaned it or gets sold off if it was donated.
The sub-branch receives no financial assistance from any external agency. Instead, depends on volunteer-run meal nights and social events to generate income. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Silverton businesses are asking locals to support them after a huge drop in tourism. Border closures and COVID concerns said to be responsible for the decline just months after a record Easter weekend.
Ghost town by name and now by nature. A weekday afternoon in Silverton and there's not a single tourist in town.
What tourism? No, it's actually, the bum has actually literally dropped out of it.
When was your last visitor today?
9 o'clock this morning.
The outback village feeling the pinch of border closures and travel restrictions.
The last 12 months we have had, Sydney's been really well represented, and Melbourne.
The Silverton Hotel had its busiest day ever during the Easter break, serving more than 400 meals. Last week, there was a day it served just 10.
You would never in a million years think it could go that dramatic. It does show you what we're dealing with.
At a time when they're crying out for local support, the border still causes issues. Silverton isn't part of the border bubbles, so any Broken Hill locals who visit can't then travel to Victoria or South Australia.
It created a lot of uncertainty for a lot of people. I think a lot weren't aware of it.
Pleading to those who don't need to use the bubble.
Just support your local businesses. You know, a lot of them are really doing it tough now because we're seeing that when these COVID restrictions are put in place, tourists disappear literally overnight.
Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
After a tough year for the entertainment industry, a new live musical festival is set to hit the Eyre Peninsula. The Ramsey Bros Cleve Harvest Music Festival, promising to bring national and local music talent to the Gulf.
The first of its kind on the Eyre Peninsula, a live music festival set to bring the region alive.
We're extremely excited and looking forward to it, and it's going to be a great event for our community and the region as a whole.
The town of Cleve hosting the inaugural Harvest Festival, bringing a raft of national and local acts.
I can't believe we actually managed to get Killing Heidi because, generally you don't see these major acts, out of sight of Adelaide.
The Ramsey Bros sponsoring the event. Group Sales Manager Tim Glover says it's a great opportunity to get the district together.
I think we're well overdue as a community, as a region, to get everyone together. So for us, it's the social fabric of it, and the opportunity to get the district together, at an event like this has been fantastic for us. So it was a no-brainer, really.
Local acts like the Benke brothers and Joel Davies getting to share the stage with the likes of Ella Hooper.
Looking forward to them. Bit of blues and there's a bit of this, but anything will do, I reckon, and mate, it'll be gold.
An event for the whole family, with local food in a family-friendly atmosphere, marking the start of the harvest season. Located at the Cleve Field Day site, revellers can camp on site.
The great thing is there's free camping for everybody, so, if you're going to come up, just drag your van up or, throw a sweating on the ground and make a bit of a weekend of it.
Head to the Mosh Ticks website to grab your ticket. Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Payphones across the Spencer Gulf are now free, with Telstra repurposing the service as an emergency utility. In a blog post, CEO Andrew Penn says payphones are still vital in situations like natural disasters or fleeing domestic violence. The free calls only apply to local and national calls to landlines and mobiles. Stay with us after the break. A solo world walker continues his journey from Port Lincoln following COVID struggles. And we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. While many South Australians were stuck in lockdown last week, a 71-year-old adventurer was taking the time to plan his next move. A German solo walker setting off to continue his worldwide journey from Port Lincoln.
Out of lockdown and back on the road, continuing his journey around Australia. Solo walker Kuno Penner making up for lost time.
The last 5 years I used to walk, and now it's my life. I cannot live without.
Setting out 5 years ago from his hometown in Germany, Kuno has trekked through more than 25 countries, citing his want for seeing different countries as a key motivator.
Everybody dreams to see the world, like me, and I am lucky to be able to do it.
The South Australian lockdown came as a surprise for the adventurer, but the 71-year-old has no plans of slowing down, wanting to catch up for lost time.
From New Zealand I will go to America, and I will try to go from Patagonia to Alaska. This is 25,000 kilometers more.
Kuno is now heading across the Nullarbor, making the 2,500 kilometre journey to Perth. Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather. Here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, Ruby, and good evening, everyone. Well, there were showers across most parts today, and there'll be showers tomorrow as well, but the rest of the week is looking mighty fine. I'll have all the details on that in just a moment. First, from 3 p.m. today, while it was partly cloudy and 16 degrees, there was a shower or two for Port Lincoln, and it reached 14 degrees, and Clare had showers and 10 degrees. Looking further out across the region now, Port Augusta and Cooper Pedy both were cloudy and 16. Broken Hill was partly cloudy and 13. There were showers for Port Pirie and Adelaide, also both topped 13. Showers for Woodner reaching 15 degrees. Showers for Kadina and 12 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, mottled cloud in the southeast associated with upper cold air is causing a few showers. Skies are largely clear further north due to a high pressure ridge and dry air mass. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, seas around 1.5 metres, and south to southwesterly swell around 1 metre. Port Lincoln and Woodner said to have a shower or two tomorrow and reach 16 degrees. Similar conditions for Cleve 15, Whyalla partly cloudy and 17, Port Augusta to top 18, and Kadina will have showers and is set to reach 15 degrees there. Port Pirie showers and 16, Clare to top 12, and Broken Hill will reach a max of 15. Taking a look further through the week now, partly cloudy for Cooper Pedy, Broken Hill, Port Augusta and Whyalla on Thursday. Rain across everywhere else, temperatures mainly in the mid to high teens. Clearing up in most parts on Friday, partly cloudy across Cooper Pedy, Broken Hill, Port Augusta, Port Pirie, Whyalla and Kadina. Rain for Woodner, Port Lincoln and Adelaide. And clearing up even more on Saturday, partly cloudy across the region. Adelaide will have showers, temperatures to be mainly in the high teens to low 20s. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you, Ruby.
Lovely, thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your evening and we'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.